Good evening, everyone. You must have had a busy afternoon. This is the quietest this group has been in the last 2 days. Whoa! We've got a great program for you this evening. I know you're going to enjoy it. I'm actually so proud of what AOPA has done with this flight training program because a long time ago, when I was there, we got really concerned about what we were doing to make sure that the flight training community recognized excellence. And we said, we're never going to point the finger at things that don't work, but we sure as heck want to recognize things that are working. And AOPA, under Mark Baker's leadership, has just taken this further and further and further. And so it really is a great pleasure to see where the program stands. And I think you're going to, if you haven't heard a lot about it, you're going to learn about it more tonight, and you're going to see some of the results from the work that's been going on over the last year. It's also a special pleasure for me to, let's welcome them up on stage. Elizabeth Tennyson, Chris Mosier from AOPA. Please welcome them. These two folks are at the heart of the program, and they'll tell you a little bit about what they do. I just wanted to share that people ask me, and many of you have asked me, do I miss working at AOPA? And I do in many ways. What I really miss day in and day out are the kinds of people I had the chance to work with. And Elizabeth Tennyson was one of the absolute finest. She has experience as the editor of Flight Training Magazine, so she knows the flight training community. She has experience working with me and writing on pretty much every topic that I touched upon over the 5 or so years I was there, and there were lots of them, and has just done a great job. And to the good fortune of the aviation community generally and AOPA specifically, Elizabeth moved back into the area a few years ago and once again worked full-time at the headquarters at AOPA. But to both of you, thank you for all you're doing. Thank you for taking a little nugget or kernel of an idea and growing it into something that's really become very exciting. With that, I turn the program over to you. Chris.
Right, thank you, Greg. Appreciate that. All right, you guys, good evening, everybody. Enjoying dinner? You ready to do this? This is going to be kind of cool. So welcome to the 2019 Flight Training Experience Award Ceremony. We're proud to recognize the winners of our Flight Training Experience Awards that we do every year. And of course, the purpose of this is to recognize and celebrate flight schools and flight instructors that provide a customer experience to pilots of all levels and facilitate their entry into the aviation community. But before we explain more about the survey and awards, I wanted just to take a moment to thank some of the great organizations that allowed this and helped us make this happen this year. There we go. So first, I want to thank Redbird for allowing us to present here at Migration again for the 4th time since we first collaborated on this back in 2016. So Redbird Migration, I'm hoping you realize, there's a lot of first-time folks here, is honestly one of the premier events in the flight training industry. So thank you so much, Redbird, for letting us host this year. The other thing we like to do is thank our sweepstakes sponsors, because what we do every year is to help incentivize your customers to take the survey. We offer some sweepstakes prizes. And so as you can see right up here, we had quite a few that stepped up this year, including rental car certificates. Aircraft Spruce had a gift certificate, free courses from Sporties and pilot workshops, so some really great stuff. And it was really kind of fun to give those away and to see the surprise or when we make that call and let people know that they won that. Now, something really cool, as a special bonus, this is for the 2nd year now, in special recognition for the contributions that our flight training providers make to the flight training community, Lightspeed has donated Zulu 3 headsets that each of our regional best CFIs and each of the regional best schools will receive. So the kind folks at Lightspeed are going to be sending those out directly to those winners. So I don't know if you realize it or not, but when you guys came here tonight, our winners, you're getting a Lightspeed headset, a Zulu 3. Pretty cool. So the survey and awards are part of AOPA's You Can Fly program, and to go to a little bit of deeper perspective on what that program is about, I am pleased to introduce You Can Fly's Executive Director, Elizabeth Tennyson.
Thank you, Chris. So hosting this ceremony every year is really one of the best evenings that we get, because it's a chance for us to talk to you in person about the great work that you do. You know, we deal with a lot of flight schools on a day-to-day basis. We answer questions, we try to solve problems, we hear the struggles, we hear from you just how challenging this business can be. And yet, you're out there every day on the front line with students, teaching them, sometimes being afraid for your lives. You know, you're out there creating the great experiences that create new pilots. And for that, we're very grateful. When you serve that community well, you're serving our entire industry well. And so it's a real honor for us to be here tonight and speak to you in person and say thank you. So these awards are part of AOPA's You Can Fly program, as Chris said. And that program was born a few years ago out of a few really critical realizations. The first one was that if we didn't intervene in some way, the pilot population would keep shrinking, as it had been since the 1980s, and that was really unsustainable for our industry. And the second realization was that no one intervention would solve the problem. You know, this was a long time coming. The pilot population had been declining steadily over a period of decades. And so there was not going to be a magic bullet, even though we would have all wanted one. So in creating the You Can Fly program, we identified 4 key areas where we had an opportunity to intervene, not to duplicate great programs that are already out there. Things like Young Eagles, getting kids flying. Lots of stuff is going on that's wonderful in our industry, but we wanted to find an opportunity to fill the gaps and do things that others weren't doing. So we started with our high school program, and that was all about introducing young people to aviation and the career opportunities that await them there. Then we looked at flight training. You may have heard this number today. 70 to 80% of students who start flight training will drop out without earning a certificate. I mean, that's unbelievable. How do you sustain an industry like that? So we wanted to see if there was something we could do there. Then we wanted to make flying more affordable. If you talk to pilots, they'll tell you their biggest obstacles are time and money, which are the biggest obstacles to most things in our lives, right? So how could we make it easier and more affordable to fly? And how could we give you reasons to go to the airport and build that community of like-minded aviators out there? So we started working on flying clubs. And finally, bringing lapsed pilots back. Has anybody here ever quit flying for a year or more? Yeah, a lot of hands. And we find that everywhere we go. People stop flying because life gets in the way. Life is complicated and difficult and, you know, messy at times. But they're still pilots. They want to come back. So how do we make it easier for them to come back? And that's our Rusty Pilots program. And the good news is, taken together, these initiatives are really, really working. Right now, more than 5,000 students in more than 160 schools in 34 states are using the AOPA Aviation STEM curriculum to learn about careers and opportunities in aviation and to prepare them for higher education or jobs in our fields. More than 130 new flying clubs are started around the country. That's serving thousands of pilots, and they're actually flying more, which is exactly what we hoped for. And more than 7,500 lapsed pilots have reported to us that they are back in the air after taking a Rusty Pilots course. So we are seeing real numbers with real meaning that are bringing people back into our industry. And while we're very excited and proud of all that, it would not be possible without you. We can create the programs, but you are the people on the front lines teaching these people to fly, getting them back in the air, giving them recurrency training, helping them be safe pilots. And for that, we are truly appreciative. So tonight, we are proud to recognize you and your contributions with our instructors from every region doing incredible jobs of bringing students into aviation, turning them into lifelong pilots, giving them reasons to keep flying. All of you tonight, our award winners, are part of an extremely select group. And I'm going to ask Chris to tell you about the awards so you can know just how select that group is.
Cool. Thank you, Elizabeth. Okay, just a little bit of background. The Flight Training Experience Survey and Awards are based on some research that AOPA did about what makes the best flight training experience. In that research, they identified 4 areas where they were critical to making that good experience. Number 1 was educational quality. 2 was customer focus. 3 was community. And then the 4th was information sharing. Now, it might seem like doing these kinds of things would just be common sense, but delivering on that every day takes commitment and hard work. So the fact, I know that folks here that are in the flight training providers that we have, and of course our award winners, I want to thank you for making that commitment every day to providing that great flight training experience. Now, before I announce our winners, one thing I did want to just reflect on a little bit is that we get an awful lot of data from this. When you think about it, people are lucky to get maybe 200, 300 respondents to a survey. This year we had over 7,000 people that responded on your behalf, your customers, letting us know what they thought about the service that you're providing. And one of the aspects that really stood out in there that I thought was just interesting when we were analyzing the results was that creating a personal connection was kind of a key theme this year we kind of noticed. It's something that just jumped out at us. Now, as flight instructors, we all know that teaching somebody to fly is an intensely personal experience. Whether it's from sitting in the tight cockpit of a 152 or turning them loose to go around the pattern for the first time while you pace nervously, hoping they make those 3 landings just right, or just that really cool part of watching them mature into confident and mature aviators. We know, and I bet it's the same for you, that a lot of our clients become lifelong friends of ours through that process. The trust that they put in us as flight instructors and as providers goes way beyond any kind of typical business relationship. I know I've personally experienced how important it is to have a supportive CFI who can motivate and guide you through kind of the challenging parts to reaching those goals. So I just want to thank you because I'm pretty sure that you take the same kind of pride that I do and the same kind of satisfaction in helping somebody achieve the dreams of flight and getting through the challenges that are there. So thank you for what you do, everybody. Now, what you've all been waiting for. It is time to reveal our award-winning schools and flight instructors. Joining us shortly are 2 of my colleagues, Pablo Morelia and Keith West, to help us deliver this incredible experience. So there are 2 categories of recognition in the Flight Training Experience Awards. The first is the Distinguished Instructor in School. These are schools and instructors who have delivered a high level of service to their customers, which is based on that direct customer feedback that I mentioned earlier. It really is a mark of AOPA's confidence that you are providing a great flight training experience. This award is granted to flight schools and instructors who have had to have had at least 5 independent reviews from those survey respondents and had to rank in the top 1/3 of their region. The scores are based on that feedback in those same areas that I mentioned from the research, and this award can be attained every year. Now, to give a little perspective on what being a distinguished school means, or distinguished flight school means, or instructor, please consider the following. There were 972 independent schools reviewed this year. Of those 972 reviewed, 51 are receiving the Distinguished Flight School Award. That puts them in the top 5.2% in the results that we had, and the top 3% in the nation. So I'd like to invite our 2019 Distinguished Flight School winners to please stand right now for some recognition. For our distinguished winners, please do stand, yes. For our distinguished flight instructors, there were 1,876 different instructors reviewed. Of those, 53 are named as distinguished flight instructors. That puts them in the top 3% in our awards and better than the top 1% in the nation when you consider the number of CFIs that are out there. So will our 2019 distinguished flight instructors please also stand for some recognition as well? So congratulations to those schools and instructors, and thank you for doing what you do. And by the way, after all the activities are done tonight, we will be doing photographs, so I do want to invite our distinguished instructors and schools to come up for a photograph after everything is all done, because we know we have the Redbird Awards coming as well. Now, the awards are structured around 6 geographic regions, and our hope is, in doing this sort of division of the country, is that we get a little bit of excitement, maybe some friendly competition among the flight training providers, but most importantly, we wanted to offer the opportunity for people in different parts of the country to be able to fly and train with the best. And it's hopefully a more convenient way for them to identify who's somewhere close to them. We'll do that, and we do hear stories from previous winners that people will come from out of state to fly with you, even get on a waiting list to fly with you. And I see some nodding heads even from Zoanne right here, our best national CFI 2 years back. So from each region, A best flight instructor and a best flight school are selected from each of these regions, as I mentioned. In addition to those regional best, there is also one who will be named our national best CFI and our national best school. The twist is that they don't know who they are yet, and we were going to reveal that tonight during the ceremony. So hopefully we'll have a little bit of fun with that. So this year's survey, as I mentioned, had 972 different flight schools. From those that rose to the top, one best flight school was selected. This comes from a process of a combination of quantitative and qualitative analysis, including a committee process that uses a blind review of industry experts and CFIs to pick who that person will be. So we are now proud to announce our best regional flight schools. From the east, AeroVenture Flight Center from Mansfield, Massachusetts. So please come up to the stage. AeroVenture, from their customers. One customer said, AeroVenture is, in my opinion, the best flight school I've attended so far. AeroVenture is without a doubt the most professional, attentive, safety-conscious organization that I've ever seen. The staff are courteous and always available, and the instruction is organized, engaging, and clear. So congratulations to AeroVenture. Our best flight school in the southern region is King Sky Flight Academy from Lakeland, Florida. Customers for King Sky said the staff is incredibly supportive, friendly, and professional. The CFIs are all friendly and professional, and as a veteran, they've been incredibly helpful in assisting me in my pursuit of a commercial rating. I'm glad that I chose King Sky. Congratulations to King Sky. You're welcome. From the Great Lakes, Spencer Aviation from Delaware, Ohio. There we go. Come on up, Spencer. I know Michael's here. One of Michael's customers said, Spencer Aviation's flight school has been an absolute pleasure to attend. They consistently provide outstanding customer service, expert instruction, and good value to their students. I would highly recommend Spencer Aviation to anyone interested in learning to fly. Nice job, Michael. Congratulations. From the Central Southwest region, our best flight school is Nationwide Aviation in Weatherford, Texas. One of their customers said, the culture at Nationwide is like no other in the sense that it exceeds all other flight schools I've attended in both quality and professionalism. The school has become my second home, and the staff my family. And what a review that is. Congratulations, Nationwide. All right, our best flight school in the Northwest Mountain region, Skytrek Alaska Flight Training from Anchorage, Alaska. I know Jamie's here. One of Jamie's customers said, Skytrek should win this award for their ability to make you feel like part of their family. They open early, stay open late, move around their personal schedules to make the training happen. They work together to provide an efficient and friendly training atmosphere. Congratulations, Skytrek and Jamie. And our best flight school in the Western Pacific region is Sierra Charlie Aviation from Scottsdale, Arizona. Come on down, Sierra Charlie. Some of Sierra Charlie's customers said, I feel like it's not a school, but a community where everyone supports each other and share the love of flying. If you have questions, just ask any instructor or the owner himself, and they'll help. And this is my favorite part of their quote. I feel like they care about your success as much as you do, and also, their staff is pretty cool. There we go. I'll hop in.
Hold on.
Congratulations, Sierra Charlie. And now, I have the pleasure of revealing our 2019 National Best Flight School. Pablo, the envelope, please. Thank you, Pablo. The results have been sealed by the firm of Pretty, Dern, and Close. And the award goes to AeroVenture Flight Center from Mansfield, Massachusetts. Congratulations, AeroVenture. In their results, AeroVenture mentioned, or their folks, their customers, I'll try that again. In the results, customers said they were friendly and family-oriented. They were quality people. I know one even named Deb outright, so Deb is one of the most amazing people I've ever met. Up-to-date equipment and technology, balanced learning, both theoretical and practical, so both sides of it, and that they were transparent and budget conscious and provide a great value. So let's hear it for AeroVenture, our 2019 National Best Flight School. All right, and now to introduce our 2019 Best Flight Instructors, I'd like to welcome back to the stage You Can Fly Executive Director, Elizabeth Tennyson.
What a great reaction that was, huh? And to see so many people from one school here tonight, that is fantastic. Talk about the kind of spirit, the kind of community that keeps people coming back and keeps people flying. When you see, when you see that, you really appreciate what's great about what we do and why we're here. So for the best flight instructors, this year we had 1,876 CFIs nominated. But of course, only one can win in each region. Like the Best School Award, this award is given to the flight instructor with the top overall score. It's a combination of qualitative and quantitative scoring. The data is analyzed by a committee of CFIs and industry experts in a blind review process. And the award may be won in consecutive years. So now for this year's winners. We're going to start in the East. Our best CFI in the Eastern region is Jim Stover of Fredericksburg, Virginia. Congratulations, Jim. One of Jim's students said, "He is the most professional and knowledgeable CFI I have ever had the pleasure of learning from. His teaching style is exactly what I needed. He's organized and explains concepts in detail and makes sure I understand the whys and the hows of aviation." Congratulations, Jim. Moving on to the Southern region, our best CFI in the South is Christopher Kresge of Mill 2 ATP Aviation in Goldsboro, North Carolina. Now, unfortunately, Chris couldn't be with us tonight, but I do want to say a few words that came from one of his students. They said, "He is easily the most passionate, hardworking, selfless aviator and instructor I've known. I've flown with plenty of instructors in the military and beyond who know they will collect accolades from my success, but that's not him. Among all of them, no one dedicated their time and effort to my success like Chris." We're sorry he couldn't join us tonight, but let's have a round of applause for his success. In the Great Lakes region, our best CFI in the Great Lakes is Mike Bywenga of Blue Skies Flying Services, Lake in the Hills, Illinois. Here he comes. One of his students told us, "Great instruction, explains maneuvers completely, never gets frazzled, really knows what he's teaching, always encourages, always leaves you feeling good about flying. He earns the award with every client." Congratulations, Mike.
Congratulations.
In the Central Southwest, our best CFI award goes to Howard Davenport of Texas Flight in Houston, Texas. Howard's student said, "This man is truly a father figure to me. When everyone else had given up on me or flat out refused me as a student, he worked tirelessly to motivate me, then convinced me not only was I worthy of the CFI rating I was chasing, but that I would be an amazing instructor. So I think we can really see that Howard turned a life around right there. Congratulations, Howard. The best CFI in the Northwest Mountain region goes to David Novotny of Colorado Springs, Colorado. His students said he is a commensurate professional in his field and has a genuine concern for his students' learning. He approaches his duties in a professional manner that students are eager to emulate. Safety is his first and last item on his checklist, and he ensures that all his students do the same.
Cool. Congratulations, Howard.
Congratulations, David. Our last region, the Western Pacific. Our best CFI in the Western Pacific is Kinsey Moss of Phoenix, Arizona. Kinsey? Her student told us, Kinsey is one of the most professional and knowledgeable instructors I have come across in my life. She constantly made me feel comfortable and safe in the plane, as well as not intimidating me or making me feel inferior. Kinsey is truly passionate about flight instructing. She's patient, knowledgeable, and a skilled aviator. Congratulations, Kinsey. And now for the envelope, Pablo. This time I'm actually going to ask you to go ahead and rip that open.
Slide in. It's empty. I'll let you take it out.
Thank you. And the winner of our best national CFI is Christopher Kresge. As we said, he could not be with us tonight, but that gave us an opportunity to fill him in a little early. So we gave him a call and had a quick little conversation with him. So we have a video to share with you about Chris.
One of the things that we wanted to give you a call today was, as you know, we let you know that you are our best CFI in the Southern region in the Flight Training Experience Awards for 2019. You got some amazing reviews from your folks there that train at Milta ATP, and I know you focus on helping, basically it's guys coming from the military, folks coming from the military to train to get their ATP?
So, yes, sir. Cool. Yeah, I read the comments last night that you sent me, and quite frankly, I'm flattered that one, the guys took the time to fill the survey out, and boy, a couple of the guys wrote a novel, and so anyway, I was flattered the guys would take the time to fill out the survey. I certainly do this as a labor of love. So.
I also wanted to let you know that not only are you our regional best CFI in the South, but you're also the national best CFI this year.
Wow, that's triply flattering then. Yeah, I think it's certainly due to my customer base. I have every flight school likes to think their customers are the best, and I absolutely do too. And then the support staff that makes me look good really is I think the reason why the guys rate us the way they do. We have an incredible program here that really loans itself to being successful. So I'm flattered. Thank you.
Absolutely, and in fact, I know it's well deserved just based on the comments that I read as well. And I'll ask you one other question. Do you have any tips or secrets that you might share with other CFIs to kind of show like what is it that, how do you approach it that might be maybe your secret sauce, or maybe it's just something you even consider something like, well, everybody should be doing this?
It's almost unfair, quite frankly, because I don't do this for a living. As I said a minute ago, it really is a labor of love. So I'm a retired F-15E pilot, and then I'm also an airline pilot for a major airline. So I can do this. I can put in 12 or 14 hours teaching ground academics because I really enjoy doing it. I think I've been blessed with a job that I love, and so it's really a job, and that's really how I look at it and how I view it. I'm not trying to build hours. I'm not trying to make money. I simply enjoy flying. I enjoy teaching, even teaching ground academics. I like seeing the light bulb come on. So yeah, I'd like to say everybody should be doing this, but I also appreciate that as an old guy, my circumstances are certainly probably unique. And as I said again, having the best clients in the world makes it easy.
Awesome. Well, obviously well-deserved recognition, so congratulations on being our 2019 National Best CFI for the Flight Training Experience Awards.
So congratulations to Chris and all our winners. Come on over and join me, Chris. I think labor of love is how he described it, and I think that's probably true for very many of our winners here tonight. You do this because you love it, because you care about aviation, because you care about your students. So we're very impressed with all that you do. Thank you so much for being a part of it, and thank you for what you're doing on behalf of students everywhere. Chris?
Great. Thank you, Elizabeth. And thank you again for celebrating with us tonight. You know, the Flight Training Experience and Awards were created to promote the best in flight training practices and to recognize those who excel in doing that. So I am confident that our award recipients, and I know that most of you are all models of doing that. So we're looking forward to spotlighting our winners this year throughout AOPA communication channels. So join us just one more time in congratulating all of our 2019 winners.